Hey guys, welcome back to What the Marriage. Hey, wait, let me just say something real quick. Off the bat, they let us get another one.
Another one.
Y'all let us come back? Okay, that means somebody liked it. Listen, somebody liked it. So hey, my name is Jonathan. This is my amazing, fine wife, April.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, people?
Wait, slow down. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm gonna deal with you later. Hey. Anyway, welcome back. Listen, this is Training Day episode. Listen, we ain't gonna hold you long. Let's get into it. Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Let's go. What we got for him today?
Look, we're gonna be talking about how to train your spouse. And I know what you're thinking. That's probably real derogatory. And y'all don't like that. Some of y'all don't like that. If you don't like that, you should probably just go ahead and log off, because we are going to be talking about training your spouse. But we're also going to be talking about training yourself. But what does that really mean, right? What does that mean? So, look, my husband and I, we are avid movie watchers. We make films, so we really enjoy watching films, taking in different types of genres. And we do that on date nights.
Real.
So one film that we really enjoy is Training Day.
Yep.
With Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, big fans of Denzel. And in Training Day, I mean, most people have probably seen it, but for those people that haven't seen it, Denzel plays this veteran cop and Ethan Hawke is this rookie. So Ethan Hawke needs to go out with Denzel on his first day to do a ride along. Basically, Denzel's going to show him the ropes and all of that. And before Ethan Hawke's character even gets out the door in the morning, he's so excited, right? He's talking to his wife and he's like, yeah, baby, I'm about to go out there. I'm going to be the best cop ever. I'm going to really change these LA streets. So he's super excited, right? So he got all these expectations. He already planned out how the day was going to go. And then he gets out there with Denzel and then things are happening. He's like, yo, this ain't what I thought. Like, what's going on, man? This ain't. Okay, so he gives a little bit more time and some more stuff starts happening and he's like, hey man, this ain't what I signed up for. And Denzel's like, no man, this is exactly what you signed up for.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So when we started talking about the movie, I was like, how much does that just align with what we do when we first get into a relationship and when we first get into marriage, right? Day one, we all have expectations. I know when we got married, right out the gate, I had expectations like, oh, this is the type of wife I'm gonna be. He's gonna be this type of husband. These are the type of kids we gonna have. And this is the type of house we gonna live in. And yeah, no.
You gonna learn today.
I didn't say that.
Listen, let's start this off. Hey, well, tell them the steak story. Because listen,
the steak.
Guys, the steak story. This is funny. This is funny. Practical application is what we like to do here.
Yeah.
So really, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, look. So like we told you last episode, we really didn't have a foundation getting into marriage. So everything we did, that we both did, it was either learned or unconsciously absorbed from something we saw on TV or just our environments that we were in, right?
Well, how were you raised?
Right. So my grandmother, like I said, she raised me, and my grandmother had like 8 kids, and I had uncles, and they were big guys, man. They were huge, like those down home farm type men, just big guys, and they ate a lot.
Big.
So I remember my grandmother always cooking real big meals, right? Every single day. And even though my uncles were married, they would always come over and eat dinner with us. So my grandma would make like pounds of pork chops. She would make acres of green beans and just like, I swear, like thousands of pounds of potatoes. It felt like the house just had so much food all the time. And so when I got married, I was like, I'm gonna be a good wife. I'm gonna cook him something good. And that's how I learned how to cook, was from my grandmother, because she would let me cook in the kitchen with her, right?
I like food.
So I'll never forget it. We were probably married like a month maybe. And I had went out, he was working and I was at home. I was in between jobs or whatever. And I had went out picked up some stuff at the store. I remember I bought steak because I thought, I'm going to make him a nice T-bone steak. I'm going to have onions. I'm going to have mushrooms. I'm going to make some mashed potatoes. I'm going to have some green beans. And I'm probably going to make a little bit of pie. So, yeah, I was on it. I was like, I'm going to be a wife today.
Tasty.
So then I'm in there, I'm cooking, and I'm like checking to see, because we didn't really have cell phones all like that, but I was checking to see where he was at.
Pagers.
Yeah, we had them little pagers, but that's another pod.
Pagers.
But I finished cooking and I made his plate and I was all ready. I was waiting at the door. He came in. I was like, guess what, baby? I made you dinner. I made you steak. I made you this and that. And I sat it in front of him on our little counter and he looked at it. He was like, oh. And I was like, it's good, right? It looks good, don't it? And he was like, I don't really eat that stuff. I was like, what you mean you don't eat that stuff? And he said, well, I don't eat onions. And I was like, that's cool. We could just move them aside. He's like, I don't really even be eating steak like that either, though. And I was thinking to myself, something in me, because I had already brought a lot of baggage with me, emotional baggage, right? Emotional baggage of being rejected by people. So we'll get into that in our next podcast, come back. But I had a lot of damage already. So hearing that you didn't like it, that you were like, I don't really eat all that. Like, I'm good with just a chicken patty or a burger or something. I'm like, yo, I went out and I spent all this time cooking this and you're not about to eat it. So in my soul, I was like, if you ain't gonna eat it, you gonna wear it. Trust me, you gonna wear it. And I was so mad. And then we started arguing. And I'll never forget it because it was like, it happened so fast. All my intentions were so good and so pure. But
Right.
I couldn't even put into words what that did to me, because I had an expectation that I was going to make this meal, you were going to eat it, and it was going to be like, wow, she's the best wife ever. She cooks for me, and but it wasn't even like that.
No, it wasn't like that at all. So let me jump in here. Yep, tag me in. Listen, when I came through the door, it wasn't that I had a bad day or anything like that. It was like, we had been married for about 50 seconds. We weren't even married a minute. It was seconds. So she didn't know. She had no idea what I liked. No idea. She didn't know that I wasn't really a big steak eater. One, because I was poor. And I ain't had steak dinners. Like, dude, nobody want to cook a steak around there, man. You know how expensive steak was? Look, go back to the first part. Talk about the food stamps, all that. Nah, it wasn't no steak.
I think I bought the steak with food stamps, actually. But go ahead.
Anyway, so listen. So
pretty sure I did.
I didn't have no reference. So that whole identity of, well, I'm going to represent the men that she's seen in her life and eat like them. That was a false narrative. Negative. That's not going to happen. Not here. No, I don't eat like that. And so when I come in and I see this, my wife, I love my wife. I love my wife. So let me tell you what I actually kind of really said when I seen it. What? What's this?
Yeah, that's
who you make this for?
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat that. What? Oh, you mad because I don't eat that? Why don't you know what I eat? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, and to give you context, we both had some really foul ways to talking to each other. Yep. We both had attitude problems. Yep. He had anger management issues, and I just had a spoiled attitude. So we would go back and forth, and we would just say so many venomous things.
You're right. So here's the thing. So we are Christians. We are believers in God. But here's the thing. God was our Savior. Mm-hmm. Yep. Fire insurance. Man, somebody throw that in the comments down below, man. Fire insurance. How many of y'all Christians, us believers are walking around with just fire insurance, but he's not Lord over our life. This is very important. Here's the reason why. Because what I didn't see my wife as the treasure that God had given me. I seen her as, some chick that just cooked me a meal that I did not like.
Yeah.
Didn't like. I didn't have any grace. I didn't have any patience for her training. Nor did I ever, not one time did I say, hey, baby. Hey, look. Hey. Oh, wow. This is great. I love you. This is great. Hey, but no, future references. I'm going to try this. And I really don't need onions or steak or anything like that. But I'm going to try it, and I'm going to do my best to really, really, really just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our conversation probably would have went totally different had you done that. But
no grace. I had no grace for her.
It didn't. It didn't go like that.
No, it did not go like that. And it didn't go like that for like the first 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't know no better. I didn't know how to teach her.
And I know that, and
go ahead.
Real quick, when you said that you didn't know how to teach me, and when you said the comment about, I'm not that kind of man.
Not.
And this now, what I said next, when he said that I'm not that kind of dude, I don't eat stuff like that. The thing that I said next, and I remember it vividly like it was yesterday, and it came out my mouth so fast before I could even pull it back. I was like, well, what kind of man is you then if you don't eat like this?
Manhood question. Manhood. What?
I questioned your. Yep.
You put my man. You question my man who over some steak.
Yep.
Over some steak.
Yep. And he
I ain't no man.
Yep.
I got your man.
Gone. He got up. Man, I ain't never see him get up so fast. He jumped about that stool and that.
Anger management, because ladies, training day 101. Never, let me look at this camera right here. Never try to take your man's respect. That's one of the things that God has, it's like he's placed in us, that when you come after that manhood and that respect factor, then I have a decision to make. Am I going to treat you like a hood ratchet, or I'm going to treat you like a queen? Right. How many fellas out there, when you take the little thing that I'm like, that self-respect, when you come for that, then I got to treat you differently. And that's why you get to calling people out their names and all that. Y'all know what I mean. All my real ones know what they mean. So listen. One of the things that I absolutely didn't understand is if I would have gave a different response, I triggered her. I provoked her to anger. And the word says, be angry, but don't sin.
Yep. And I think that's, again, we didn't have that training. No one trained me how to respond in a scenario like that. I just was reactionary. I gave him what he gave me. So that exchange, no one told us, but I think your mother actually did come back, because that's where you went, right? You went over to your mom's. Well, I think you went over to your mom's or something like after that.
So let me explain. So after that, look, we exchanged words. More importantly, it wasn't just words. It was after she attacked my manhood, then I'm not going to sit there and just take it. I wasn't built like that at that time. God is still working on me. I ain't built like that now. So I learned now to, okay, offense happens. Bishop Tony Dunn taught us this a minute ago. Offense happens when someone does something that you don't expect. Yep. I offended her. This is training day, remember? I offended her when I said, I don't really eat steak. And she put all this time in there cooking, doing all that. I offended her. And when she got that offense, she immediately didn't know how to process. So for ladies, for fellas, anybody that's watching this, understand offense happens when someone does something that you don't expect. So what should we do then to stop offense?
So you got to renew your mind. So, and I don't think we do enough of that, of renewing our mind. And if you look up Romans 8:6, it talks about renewing your mind. It talks about how you got to renew your mind, because if you don't renew your mind, that's how your sinful nature, and our sinful nature, automatically in us is selfishness. We were born with selfishness. And because that's in us, when we feel like somebody is attacking us or, whatever it is, we immediately go to the extreme of, well, I feel like this. I feel like this because you did this to me, instead of, all right, so where's this coming from? We were new. We were out the gate. Like you said, we was married for like 50 seconds and had no frame of reference of how should we be responding to each other? How should we be talking to each other? And honestly, out the gate, we both didn't even know how we wanted to be treated. We didn't have that. I didn't come in saying, well, this is how I want you to love me. This is how I want you to talk to me. This is how I want us to do date nights. This is how I want this. And remember, we said last episode, we didn't have that whole marriage counseling, because if we would have had marriage counseling, we would have understood early on. These are things that come out in marriage counseling, right?
Right. So if you have, man, wow, that was good. If you have a chance to do premarital counseling, please do it. Yeah. Please do it. A lot of our mistakes was trial by fire. Yeah. There is so many good things that come out in marriage counseling that you absolutely need. Absolutely need. So segue into counseling. So I zoom off. I'm heated. I'm like, okay, before I go ahead and just end all this, because I was done at that point. I go to my mom's house. She's like, okay, what's the problem? What's the problem is the problem. I married the problem. That's the problem. I married it. I'm done. I'm done. She's like, but how you, hey. So as I calmed down and I had something that wasn't steak to eat, something that I was familiar with. How many times do we resort to something that's familiar? It's
the comfort in the familiar.
When we face adversity. How many
Absolutely.
times?
We run to what's comfortable.
So I'm about to come down somebody's lane now. So that's that old boyfriend. That's that old girlfriend.
Yep.
As soon as you having problems, that's how you get a side piece. That's how you get a side dude.
Yep.
So watch that. You got to watch it. Training day. We training them up. We coaching them up. So I'm at my mom's. I'm like, Mom, no, I'm done with her. No. Okay.
Was you really crying like that?
Nah, but look, I love the mess out of you. And it wasn't working out.
Yeah.
What I thought was married, because nobody trained me up, it wasn't working out.
What you expected, I wasn't given.
You know what she said? She said, Jonathan, did you teach her? Did you teach her? How's she supposed to learn? Or how's she supposed to know if you never taught her? No, she just supposed to. I never told her what I wanted to eat, what I like to eat. She just assumed.
You know what, though? One thing I want to clarify from our last podcast is that when we said we didn't have a strong foundation in terms of marriage, we didn't. But when it came to knowledge of the Word of God and how to apply certain principles to our life, we did have that, right? We did have that. So some things like this, where his mother was divorced, but she knew that, listen, if you want your wife to learn, you got to teach her.
And she probably learned from divorce. There were so many lessons that my mother
learned out of divorce.
She was able to impart to me.
Yeah, right. And I think that bit of information that he got. He didn't come home right away, obviously. He still had to cool down. But when he finally did come home, and we loved each other. And one thing was, we were friends before we were even married. So whenever he came home and we actually talked about, this is what Ma said, she said, I need to teach you. And at first I was kind of offended by that. I'm not even gonna lie. I still had my attitude. I was still offended by the thought of, what do you mean teach me? But then as years went on, I started to understand what that meant, because you have to absolutely show your spouse how they need to love you. You need to show them how they need to treat you. You need to show them how you want your life together to go. And you have to establish boundaries early on. We had no boundaries. There was no boundaries of how I would talk to you. I would say anything I felt like it. There were no boundaries how you would talk to me. You would say anything to me.
Anything.
That line, we would always jump over that line. If we could dive over it head first, we would. Like, we were always diving over that. So,
and performance-based.
Yeah.
In those first, that honeymoon period, those first 2 to 3 years, it's all performance-based. If you don't perform like I want you to, then apparently, I don't know. Maybe I should divorce. Maybe I should divorce you. What? Because you ain't performing? Over something that I didn't even know?
Right. Well, you know what, though, too? We go back to counseling and understanding your spouse before you get married. And now that we understand the fruits of the Spirit and we understand the 5 love languages, we understand those things. If we would have had that information early on, then we would be much better. We would have been much better communicators out the gate. And a lot of the issues that we had around communication and just interacting with each other could have been avoided.
Could have been avoided. Here's something for my fellas, especially if you tasting the product. Yeah, definitely tasting the product. So if you tasting the product, you think as long as you're good in the bedroom, then everything else will work itself out. No, you've never been more wrong in your life. Yep. If that person is good in the bedroom and they're terrible in the kitchen, terrible in other areas of life, that's how you develop that side piece. You have to seek it somewhere else. Seek it somewhere else. Ladies, the same way. So you want a complete picture. This is training day. You want a complete picture of who you're marrying, and that's in counseling.
And you know, Tim Ross, we fool with that dude. Tim Ross, Tim Ross spits so much knowledge. And I was watching a clip, one of his Instagram clips the other day, and he was just talking about the level of risk that you take when you get into a relationship. He was like, there is a level of risk that you are going to assume when you say I do. There's no way around it. No matter how long you're together beforehand or how well you think you know your spouse, you are assuming a level of risk because you have not seen your spouse in all seasons. You haven't seen your spouse when you've been broke. You haven't seen your spouse when you guys have been sick. Nope. You haven't seen it when you had financial troubles. Nope. Or if you have kids, you haven't seen parenting.
What if her breath stank?
You better get used to that in the morning. That's how that works.
Ooh,
But you see, like,
say that.
We go in and we're like, oh, well, no, everything's just going to be cool. It's going to be fine. It's a level of risk because you don't know how it's going to turn out, but God knows how it's going to turn out. He knows. He is the manufacturer of both of you, and he's the manufacturer and the orchestrator of what marriage should be. So he knows what it's going to be like, but if you don't lean into that and you don't actually go to the manufacturer guide, which is the word of God, the Bible, right? It literally lays out for you how you should be navigating. But if you don't do that, then you're going to keep hitting these missteps.
Absolutely.
You're going to keep misstepping every step of the way.
Absolutely. Let's not forget, this just dropped. Let's not forget we have an enemy. And the first part, you think you just fighting against you. You think, well, I'm just trying to figure this marriage thing. No, there's an enemy that wants to destroy you and your marriage.
Yep.
You and your marriage. Yep. So don't forget that on top of all that, even when things is going well, he's still trying to destroy you. So that selfishness or those things that you just, they pop up, you have to make sure that you're constantly working on you. Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't just get to not work on you and think, oh, my marriage is going.
Nope.
be good. Y'all trying to make us get in the hour?
Right.
Man, throw in a comment if y'all want us to be an hour. Look, we can go an hour, but I mean, we was trying to do 30 minutes.
We trying to cut it down.
We was like, look, we ain't teachers. We just people, man. We've been married a little bit, and you like, we know a little bit about a little bit. So listen, throw in a comment. Hey, y'all want us to go an hour? Y'all want to go us a little longer? But listen, if it's helping you, thank you for rocking with us.
Yeah, thank you for rocking with us. Y'all are awesome. Dope. Y'all are so dope.
Listen, this has been great. Wow, sweetheart. What else we got? That's it. Well, I can't think.
I think we should get something away.
What?
Yeah, we should get something away.
Man, we gave something away last time. You want to get something away?
Well, we givers, so we gotta get something else away. I just feel like giving stuff away.
That's gonna help people?
It's gonna help people, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, y'all, for real. No, we are givers, and we legit want to help you any way we can. We want to give you resources. So what we got for you? The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work with John Gottman. We read this book. It's dope. It is going to really help you. It just helps you to navigate through some basic principles that is really going to help not only just help your marriage work, but you can reread it over and over and over again, because how does anything help you? It's when it gets in you.
Absolutely.
So we're going to give away some copies. So how many copies you want to give?
Let's do at least 5.
At least 5 5?
5. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's do it then.
We got subscribers. We got subscribers
hey,
now.
Yeah. So you know what?
Subscribers.
Yeah. For real.
Everything. Subscribers. Cuz.
All right, man. Dang. Sometimes I just got to rope him back in. Anyway, so we're going to get 5 of these books away. We're going to do digital copies. I think digital copies, so you get it immediately. So like my husband said, we got subscribers now, y'all. We got
Thanks
subscribers.
For rocking with us.
Yes.
Rocking with us.
So, but if you have been following us, you watched last week and you watched this week and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please make sure you go. If you got to log in, I know sometimes YouTube be making you log in. But just take an extra step, log in, subscribe, because you don't want to miss any one of our episodes. We're going to be adding more content out there, some shorts and some other things that we really just want to do to help you out. So make sure you like and subscribe, share, and yeah, I mean, I think that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Next week, the show. Faux show.
All right. So check us out next week for the show. All right. Is that it?
Grandma Helen, what's up?
Hey, Grandma Helen, we love you. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate your encouragement.
All the people. We had some OGs. We had some OGs from
the Lawsons and the Winstons. Yeah, you guys are dope. You're the OGs of all of this.
And they liked it.
They liked it.
They encouraged us to say, keep going. So just like that. We never want to end an episode without encouraging you guys to fight for your marriage. Understand we have an enemy, an adversary that is trying to destroy your marriage. Work on your marriage. Work on your areas that you're weak.
Work on you.
Absolutely.
And you know what? We didn't say this, but I know it's very important that we say this, is that we talk about training. The biggest thing that y'all can do when we talk about training is don't just think you're going to tell your spouse something once and they're going to get it. Don't think you're just going to tell them something twice and they're going to get it. You got to give your spouse room to grow.
Say that again. Nice. Go ahead. Say that again.
You got to give your spouse room to grow. Give them room to make mistakes. Give them room to get it wrong. It's okay, because if they're trying, that means they want to work at this thing. And also, give yourself room to grow. You don't got all the answers. You ain't perfect. Give yourself room to grow. And I promise you, if you have that grace and you make room for you guys to grow through every season, y'all gonna be all right. So be encouraged. But yeah.
That's it.
We appreciate you. So we'll check you out next week for the show. All right?
Now give me a kiss.
All right.